right, everybody, we are back, and we are honored to be joined by Dan Miernicki. Dan is a golfer on the Korn Ferry Tour and I think a proud graduate of the University of Oregon.
Yes.
Yep.
So, Stacy, you guys have stuff in common. You grew up in the same area?
Yeah, kind of in the same area. I mean, I grew up in North Carolina, but I moved to San Diego to go to Valhalla High School to finish up, and I was a baseball player there. And Dan grew up in my parents from Philadelphia, but Santee, and then went to high school, private high school there in San Diego. So it was really cool. Really, really cool. So Dan, yeah, really appreciate it. But yeah, tell us a bit about how you got into golf and what got you in the game of golf, and, tell us about some of those formative years playing and, the psyche behind being wanting to be professional and all those good things.
Sure. Yeah. So, like you said, grew up in San Diego. My dad is a teaching pro in San Diego. So my introduction to golf was, early and quick. And, so I was not forced into it by any means, but the opportunities, were made available to me to practice and, love the game. So it was definitely my dad that kind of pushed me that way. And, he's still teaching. They just moved to Northern California.
Oh, cool.
So San Diego, no firm ties there anymore, but that's
Where did your dad's from?
Me.
Scranton. He was a basketball player, right? Played at University of Scranton. Is that correct?
Yep, played at University of Scranton. Yep, he was part. I think it was 1976. They won the Division III national championship. So he was a basketball player, and then had a career change and we moved to San Diego when I was 6, and that's where he kind of picked up the teaching pro gig.
What club did he teach at a club out there or in San Diego?
Yeah, so he was kind of all over the place, Arrowwood, Woods Valley, all over, and then most recently Carlton Oaks in San Diego.
It's a great club.
They had, I think it was the national championship way back in the day, would have been in the 70s, but a great layout, a PGI golf course, so that was, where I've played the majority of my golf growing up.
That's cool.
Now, how did you decide to come to play at University of Oregon? There were so many great golf programs right now. How did the Ducks get you?
I wanted to play it was the Pac-10 at the time. That's kind of what was my, first choice. And it came down to USC and Oregon. And USC was, I don't want to say my dream school, but Jamie Lovemark was a few years older than me and was, a phenom at the time. And, I really looked up to him, but the opportunity to kind of play initially, and with golf, there's only, 4.5 scholarships. So it would have been a limited scholarship to start. So I kind of looked at Oregon and Casey Martin, obviously the coach there, amazing player, played the PGA Tour. And, I thought just learning under a coach that, was a former player and obviously very accomplished one, was something that could be very beneficial. So that was kind of how I landed on Oregon.
Wow. Jamie Lovemark's playing with you now. He's on the Korn Ferry this year.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. We played the final round in Ohio State, my last round of the year last year together, and it was fun to kind of reminisce of junior golf. He went to high school right down the road, Torrey Pines High School, and he's been battled a lot of injuries and, on the Korn Ferry, but an amazing player and, on his way back to the PGA Tour, I'm sure here soon.
Yeah, maybe you can give us some insight, like when you're going to these tournaments in Korn Ferry, like how do you decide who you're going to play your practice rounds with? And then maybe give us like an idea of like, what does it take? Like, what's the difference between, how many strokes separates like a PGA Tour player from a Korn Ferry player, if you're going to make that jump to the tour?
Yeah. In regards to the practice rounds, I'm a early riser, so I go, right at the crack of dawn when, sometimes the first hole in the dark, practice rounds can be kind of long and tedious. So usually I would say the routines, get there on a Monday. So the practice rounds are usually Tuesday. So I'm an 18 hole guy, right at the crack of dawn. So that would be the practice round. What was your second question?
Just the other, what's the difference? What do you feel the difference between, how many strokes it separates like these PGA Tour players from making on the Korn Ferry players to make it to the PGA Tour? I mean, if that makes sense, like what's the what does it take? Like what separates you guys?
Yeah, the line's pretty close now. I mean, you see, so many guys, make their way through the Korn Ferry Tour and have immediate success on the PGA Tour. So it's not a lot. Two different types of golf. I would say the PGA Tour, you're playing harder golf courses, so the scores aren't quite as low. Korn Ferry Tour, it seems every week it's 20 under cuts. Oftentimes they're 5-6 under par. So not a ton. I always kind of say, or what I've noticed, and I've been pro for quite a while now. The top 40 guys in the world are, on another level. They are the best of the best. And, you drop them in a Korn Ferry event, they're going to, win or finish up there. But the rest of the guys, it's pretty much, there's a revolving door. Guys are kind of back and forth on PGA Tour, Korn Ferry. I wouldn't say a ton, but the difference between the guys in the Korn Ferry and that top 40, there can be a significant margin for sure.
Cool. Dan, we talk a lot about how golf is a global game, and you guys have been in Latin America now for the first part of the season. If they kind of opened up the DP Tour for you guys on the Korn Ferry Tour and said you could go to a certain number of events a year, would that be something that would interest you? I mean, some of the DP Tour events have great players, and some of the DP Tour events, sure, the fields are so sparse. I think it would be great if some of the Korn Ferry guys could kind of be over in Europe and experience some of the European golf.
Yeah, the whole golf landscape is in a weird spot right now. I mean, they've kind of made it so the PGA Tour is top of the food chain. I mean, you could obviously say Live now also, and now they've made really the what form of the European Tour, DP World Tour, as a feeder tour. There's, I think, with that category, there's 10 guys from the DP World Tour that are now playing PGA Tour events. So, I mean, I would love to go over there. I played right out of school. I got a few sponsors exemptions, and I think it was my second pro event was the Irish Open. So that was played at Royal Portrush, and I mean, just an amazing experience. So cool. But with a lot of things are going to be changing, and I mean, you'd probably say, I think there's 10 guys, like I said, 10 guys from the DP World Tour and 30 guys from the Korn Ferry. So they're really elevating the Korn Ferry to, right there with the European or DP World Tour. So, but yeah, I would love to play some golf over there for sure.
Yeah. What do you think? What are your thoughts on Live? And just give our listeners your perspective on Live and what you think about it.
I think it's a unique opportunity. Obviously, the limited fields, the shotgun format, some of that's been heavily criticized. But you look at the roster of players now. I mean, it's amazing, amazing talent. And obviously, with Rahm going over that way now, you've got arguably the best player in the world that's not playing the PGA Tour. So. With the future, I think you're going to see, some type of combination of the two. I think that professional golf will be united here in the next, couple of years or however long. So, we'll see.
So let's get back to Royal Portrush. So, you played in the Palmer Cup, which is which is an international competition. We're a Ryder Cup podcast, but we cover all these international competitions. And the Palmer Cup is this great competition for college age, essentially, folks in school. And that was played at Royal Portrush, 2010. So you've played Royal Portrush competitively twice, or have you played more often than twice?
Just twice, but yes, Amazing golf course. You know, they've since held the British Open, which I think was the first time it had been, you know, out of or away from England and Scotland. And it's just, you know, golf. And I haven't played in Scotland, but the golf over there is, you know, arguably just as good. Amazing course. I believe for the British, they played some type of a composite. There was like 2 or 3 holes different than what I had played in the Palmer Cup and the Irish Open, but amazing golf course.
Tell me, when you got the call that you were on the Palmer Cup team, was it by points or was it all kind of captain's picks?
It was, I believe it was. They've changed it since, so now I believe it's a point system. There might have been a combination of the two. You know, kind of go off the golf stat, golf week rankings, whatever it was, and then I believe there was like a couple captain selections or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it was a cool honor for sure.
What was your highest ranking as an amateur?
So it was like the WAGR, the World Amateur Golf Rankings. I think I got to right when I had turned pro. I was like 6.
Oh,
6
wow!
Was, yeah. So I was the 2010 was the year I played the Palmer Cup. I had a good college year and a good amateur summer. Okay. And then 2011 was a Walker Cup year, and you know, I kind of just missed that. But the Palmer Cup, you know, to play in 2010 and 2011 was very cool.
The pros, you know, even the seasoned pros talk about the butterflies in their stomach when they hit their first shot in the Ryder Cup. That first shot on Friday. And was that the same? I mean, you've played in the U.S. Open, right? You've played and you've played in the Palmer Cup, and I'm sure you've played, you know, NCAA championships. How do those compare in terms of your nerves? Because the pros always say the Ryder Cup gives them the most nerves.
Sure, there was quite a few less people, you know, so the atmosphere wasn't quite the Ryder Cup. Nerves wise, nothing crazy. The first round was 4-ball or you know, like a best ball format. I felt the most nerves playing like the alternate shot. You know, it was just a unique format when you're, you know, literally playing you know, your playing partner's previous shot. There was definitely some pressure. Luckily, that first year I was with a friend of mine, John Chin, who was a great player at UC Irvine, so we were familiar. And I believe we won the more nerves in the forcing format for me personally.
So Dan, do you live in Oregon the entire year? Or, I mean, you know, the weather here is quite, some of our listeners might not know, the weather here is quite rainy and wet. How do you tune yourself up for the season? Do you go down in the desert, or do you stay here and hit inside, or do you just grind it out in the rain?
For the most part, I just grind it out in the rain. I've gotten to a little routine of, you know, after the holidays, our Corn Ferry season has started that, you know, usually second week of January. So, with my parents, you know, being in San Diego, we either do Christmas or something kind of buzz down there. So usually San Diego and Phoenix for, you know, a week or two, and you know, play a mini tour golf or something like that to get the competitive rust off. But yeah, other than that, Portland's home and I'm here, and yeah, so I kind of just tough it out in the rain. I've done the indoor thing, and I don't get a ton out of it, so I'm just load up the rain gear and just get out there.
Do you play out of a club here in the Oregon area?
Yeah, Columbia Edgewater. They right by the airport.
Oh yeah, I'm a member there. I'm a member there.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm usually probably I'm on the range a lot, beating balls. So you gotta come up and say that. Yeah. Absolutely, please do.
Stacey, are you an 8 now?
Yeah, I'm an 8. But you know, I haven't hit very much. I don't hit very much. I used to, when I first moved to Oregon, I was a member of Pumpkin Ridge, and man, I would dig it out of the dirt, like in the winter. I would play no matter what. But I'm getting older now, and I'm like, there are better days. I rather go snowboarding. Yeah.
Yes. I'm always impressed. There's a lot of people that, you know, don't have to be out there that tough it out. So they kudos to them.
Yeah, kudos. Well, next time I see you out there, Dan, I'll come over and say hi.
Dan,
please do. We'll have to play.
We always ask everybody who comes on our podcast one question, which is, if you were the USGA and you had to pick a Ryder Cup course that's never been, a course in the U.S. that's never been played before, that maybe people don't know, but you think would be great for a competition like the Ryder Cup, what would you suggest?
Ooh, tough one. Ryder Cup's unique because there's not that many players, so you could use venues that, that logistically wouldn't make sense. We're in Oregon, so where better than Bandon Dunes? I just love it out there. I think that, this might be sacrilege, but I think the links golf there is just, like I said, I haven't played in Scotland, but I would put that links experience right up there with, the golf I played in Ireland. So how about Bandon Dunes?
Yep, love it.
Stacy loves it. You go to Bandon Dunes.
Yeah, I was there in the summer. I absolutely love it. Oh my God.
No, it's tough to beat. It's very cool.
Tough to beat. It really is, man. What a cool place.
So where's next? You're home from Latin America. Where does the tour go next for you?
We're heading down to Argentina and then Chile. So the furthest we'll go down. I played in Argentina before. When I played the Latin America tour. Buenos Aires is really cool. I've heard the golf course is amazing. So two more events outside the U.S. and then we're back. So looking forward to.
Are you playing in Savannah?
Playing Savannah, yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna keep track on you. We're gonna be, you know how they have on Twitter, they have the Tiger Tracker, and they have the Rory Tracker. We're gonna be the Dan Tracker.
Yeah, we're gonna keep.
Good. I need that. I need that.
Well, we'll have to have you back on. Middle of the season or something. We'll give you a shout, have you back on, see how you're progressing, and then when I see you at the range, I'll say hi out of Columbia. I better come out and hit some balls this weekend or next weekend because I'm going to play Pebble in a couple weeks and I haven't hit a ball since Scottsdale. I played in Scottsdale at Christmas time, so I better come up. Yeah, I better hit some balls.
Okay, well, hopefully, some good weather. Hopefully for you guys at Pebble, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'd be really fun. Yeah, awesome.
All right, hey, thank you so much for joining us and best of luck. And we will be following you, Dan.
Yeah, tell Maddie we said thanks for getting you on. We do appreciate it.
For sure. Thanks for having me.